Hey guys, Old Man Lochinvar back. I'm doing another GM's Corner, this time about rape. This is partially in response to my wife, My Brain Lies post about gaming and rape. And so I'm going to post her link to her video so you could watch it below. I really recommend you watch it. It's excellent. And I'm going to try not to repeat too much in this video. I mean, have been married 20 plus years, so a lot of it overlaps. So I'll try to get onto the GMing aspect of it. Now, I've only allowed rape, or I shouldn't say, I've only had rape occur 4 times in my games that I directly remember. The first time, my wife clearly outlined when our group of teenage friends decided to try to sell her to sex slavery. And I didn't allow it, but then they turned around, raped her character to death, and then walked away. I was a little stunned. Honestly, I had never seen that before. I grew up with bikers, and you protect women. No matter what you want to say about the bikers, they'll protect the women. And I'd never even understood. And one of the guys that did it was her boyfriend at the time. We weren't going out at the time. And so I failed there. Even allowing the scene was a failure. It bothered her for weeks afterwards. And even though, I let her, as she died, flip out, become a Crimson Silver Dragon and kill the whole group, and then we never played again, I failed there because I caused pain through my inaction. You can't do that. I think a lot of game masters, the problem is the white male privilege, and I'll probably have a whole thing about that at some point in time. But growing up, I've never had to worry about being raped. I've never had to worry about being molested. And it does happen of some boys, and so that I'm not at all trying to take away from that saying it never happens. But let's be honest, it's going to be a woman that it happens to. She's the one that has to worry about walking down the street at night. So involving it in our fantasy life, our gaming life, seems almost cruel. I guess I lucked out that I grew up and I knew a lot of, I shouldn't say lucked out, that's the wrong word. I was fortunate though to have grown up around several women that clarified to me on this problem. Honestly, I don't think I've known a single woman who hasn't undergone at least some sort of, if not full sexual assault, but in situations that shouldn't have happened, that were kind of squicky and the guy was a dick. And it doesn't mean all guys are rapists or anything, I'm not saying that at all. But don't bring it into the game, absolutely not, there's no reason. Later on, we had a LARP where one player came in and tried to rape other girl players, other female players, and we got rid of him. I mean, that was totally, obviously not right to anybody. No one thought he should stay. So it was like one of the few times that rape came up in game that we didn't get the whole free speech thing. There was no free speech in games, let's be honest. I don't know. It just, that whole free speech thing's stupid too. So that's a whole nother subject I'll talk about. Then we had the rape by the orcs. And to be honest, I don't know why I flipped out and beat on the GM who had done that so badly with the PVC pipe boffer weapons that I bent them, because it wasn't me that had been raped. I think it's a stupid male thing we have nowadays, and I guess we've had all the time, that, I get upset that happened to my wife, but it's like all of a sudden, a lot of guys I know, it becomes about them being so angry they gotta lash out. So that was the third part. And so since then, I've not allowed rape in-game whatsoever. I mean, it doesn't happen in-game. Torture happens, cut your tongue out, it happens, beat to death happens, sex happens. I have lots of sex in my games, but no rape. There's kind of a line, I don't allow it. I think that partially contributes to why I have such a high female ratio in my games. It's almost always around 50 to 80%. Depending on the game, depending on what friends are in. And that was with the LARP too. We had more than 50% females at the LARP. So, as a GM, first of all, if you want to attract female players, don't involve rape. But also, you might think the rape situation might bother the person being raped, but a lot of times the rape situation will trigger issues for other people involved in the group. And it could even be another guy who's either been involved himself, molested, or maybe has a wife that was raped, or a sister, or a mother, So it's not just the two people that are involved either. So even if the player wants to play this, kind of creepy if they do want to play it out, but if they do, it's everybody else in the group too. You don't know how people are going to react, and some people may not have any experience about it but they'll still have an issue with it. So as a GM, don't even mess with it. And a fourth thing that I've kind of learned recently as a GM, yes, you know, you still learn things 25 years into it, is I don't think in the future I will allow characters to highlight rape highly in their background. We had a great player who recently ran a character who had been raped and was seeking revenge. And honestly, it was a good story. I don't think that was bad at all. The player handled it really well. The group handled it really well, but it did set off triggers with some people in the group. And to be honest, I don't think I'll probably allow it after that. He handled it well, so I don't want anybody to think that. And it didn't happen in game. It was all behind the scenes, already occurred in history. But it was triggering enough that I don't think I'd allow even that in the future. So basically that's just it. Don't allow rape in game. There's no reason for it. If you're a storyteller, you don't need it. There are 100 million other things you can do. It's one reason why the whole Western thing kills me, is because there's always a rape of a woman and the guy's got to go save her. That's the other problem, is you're taken, not only in these kind of stories, a lot of times you got the guys going for revenge because their woman was raped. The woman's power is taken away by the rapist, and then the guy turns around, the hero takes the rest of the power away from her because he takes care of it, because it's his property that just got damaged. You know, he goes out and he's going to take care of it. You know, that took a lot of time for me to realize as an adult about that. So that's about it. So absolutely not. No rape in game. That's my biggest advice in GM's Corner. And I all hope you have a good day, and thank you, My Brain Lies, for such a good video. I'll definitely share it with a lot of people. Have a good day.